Hi everyone and welcome back to a little bit of Warframe. Today we talk about Dagath, my first impressions, my first struggles to come up with a build that doesn't use any Forma. Yeah, I really struggled hard with this one, not gonna lie, because I feel like to get most out of Dagath, you probably want to go full Umbral with her, or at least Umbral Intensify and Umbral Vitality. But with the release of the new shield gating stuff, I think it's time that I delve into that playstyle as well. So today's build is actually a shield gating build, which is not something I usually do, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. So first off, let's have a quick glance at the abilities. Her passive is basically a combination of Arcane Energize and what's the one called for health? Basically the same thing, but you have a 35% chance that energy or health orbs will be 300% more effective, which is really good, and could be a step into going with Equilibrium on this Warframe, which I haven't done because I simply do not have the space for it, but it can be done, I'm sure, and it seems like a really good idea. So, her first ability basically surrounds you with some scythes, which then spin around you and get shot outwards. They will slow enemies down and they will proc viral on them. That is really good. That viral proc is guaranteed. So, yeah, pretty cool. It has a side effect, a synergy with her too. So if the target is affected by your 2, you will spread the effect of the 2 and extend its duration. So that can cut down on recasting your 2 a little bit. But yeah, just so you know, that is something that can happen, right? Then we have her 2, Doom. It's basically a curse. If you are familiar with ARPGs, it's it's like this concept: you curse an enemy, they take more damage, basically. This, though, once you have a curse on an enemy and you, let's say, shoot it with one shot, that damage will go back again, and that is like a cool thing, right? Really, really cool. And the damage that will come back is also viral damage, so that's not bad, right? But 3 is basically you have this up all the time. This is your weapons platform ability, basically, so you just gain critical damage. This is affected by strength, as you can see. We went from a 50% increase to a 92% increase. And if the enemy is under the effect of your 2, this one's doubled, so and it seems like rounded up because we landed at 185%. Interesting to know. But yeah, you have this up, and if you would die normally, instead you go into her spectral form, right? And you are just invulnerable for 10 seconds space. This is moddable with duration. And once those 10 seconds or this duration is up, you come back to your normal form, but you have a cooldown of 25 seconds on this ability. This is dangerous. This is, once it triggers, you will have a window where you are very vulnerable for 25 seconds until you can recast this ability. It doesn't drain any energy and stuff, which is awesome, right? And finally, we have her 4, which is really cool. Also viral damage. We can see a little bit of a theme here, right? Also, very important for this one, yes, there is defense reduction, but be aware it only works if you have casted your 2 onto that enemy that you're trying to strip of their defenses. That is very important to know because that can fuck you over if you forget to cast your 2 and you stare at an acolyte, you cast your 4, and the acolyte is just like, yeah, now you die. Goodbye. So yeah, make sure to cast your 2 before you cast your 4, especially on Eximus units, on acolytes, hard to kill enemies, right? But yeah, that's basically it. Like, I mean, the critical damage buff is really nice. So yeah, here's the build that I came up with. We have brief respite on the aura, obviously, because we are going shield gating, and it also matches the polarity, which allowed me to really like come up with this one here. It's not perfect by any means, and it will not full strip enemies, but your 4 can hit multiple times on the same enemy, so it should still work. And by that I mean it does work, I've tested it, so yeah, let's jump into it. To enable the shield gating shenanigans though, we are using catalyzing shields, which is a new mod, a new corrupted mod. You can farm this in the Orokin vaults. If you did miss the alert, it was basically only up for like 1 week, if I remember correctly. I was able to grab it, but otherwise, as I said, farm it in the Deimos vaults, the corrupted vaults. So yeah, this will cut down our shields by 80% and give us the full shield gate immunity duration of 1.33 seconds. I coupled this with rolling guard just to get rid of any slash procs, toxin procs, electricity procs, like these really nasty effects that will cut you down instantly. So yeah, 2 defensive mods with the aura. That's 3 technically, but I felt it was needed, to be honest. Now, to get brief respite working really good with 150% of energy spent, it's not enough, unfortunately, to have this with our 1, but we can cast our 1 twice if needed, but honestly, just cast Doom. This costs exactly 50 energy, and we have exactly 50 shields, right? So we should be fine. So yeah, catalyzing shields, never played with it before, looking forward to it. As I said, I tested it in 1 round, but I really didn't do like a 20-minute run or something. That's something I will do later when I have more time to really test out the build. So, as I said, we need a lot of strength, right? So I have Transient Fortitude on here, and Intensify. Now, yes, I would love for this to be Umbral Intensify, but as you can see, we have a little bit of a problem there. So with keeping this at 0 Forma, we just cannot afford Umbral Intensify, and I'm not willing to invest into Blind Rage. That's just not something I want to do right now. So these 2 strength mods give us 185% strength, which is a 64% power, not power, but 64% defense reduction. Once Molt Augmented is stacked up, right, we will push that to nearly 80%, close to 80%, and we would need corrosive protection then to make it really comfy. But then we would have to do a health tanking setup, which I don't think I can fit without any Forma investment, which is fine, don't get me wrong, that's a-okay. That's why I went with shield gating this time around. So yeah, that's that. Now, obviously Transient Fortitude gives us negative ability duration. A regular continuity will equal this out. That's all you need. You don't need prime continuity. As a matter of fact, you cannot even fit it. But so yeah, continuity just gives us that 103% duration. That's all we really need. Our 2 lasts for what, 15-ish seconds. Our 1 for 5 seconds. It's just, that's okay. We really do not need more duration than that. It would help with our 4. So the 4 is it goes longer, right? But it's okay. We should be fine with that. I'm not too worried about that. Now, the last stat that is really important, that is range. Like, range is exceptionally important for our 2, and with Stretch and Augur Reach, our 2 still just covers 26 meters, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. And it's at an angle of 40 degrees that you cannot change, but at least we can, like, get a little bit of range on that cone, right? So, yeah, that is weirdly effective, though. So, yeah, that is pretty much the whole setup. As I said, I use Mold Augmented just to make it easier for myself during a mission, and I'm using Energize at the moment to see where I end up. And we are using normal flow to bank a little bit of energy. It's 450, but like having flow versus not having flow makes a huge difference, because 225, that is whew, that's rough. That's really rough. So yeah, that is the build. Now, as I said, I just really want to drill this home. We will pause the AI here, just really again, to make sure everybody understands. If you just press your 4, you're in a world of hurt. Press your 2. I don't have enough energy for my 4. What am I doing? I didn't pick up energy, didn't I? Yeah. There we go. Press your 2, then your 4. Stuff melts. Right, that is the whole idea. Let's get into a still path survival and see if this holds up. Alright, there we go. Let's start the survival, cast our 3, sorry. We want this active at the beginning. And oh, we are actually in a pretty decent location. That's cool. Cast our 2, and as you can see, we still don't have energy to cast our 4, so yeah, let's just horse around a little bit. Before we can horse around. There you can see the power of the Saurus. Now we have enough energy to cast our 2, cast our 4. And let's try and get this loop going. Also, very good to know, your 4 goes through walls and can be a menace to enemies. We can also cast our 1 from time to time. And we are basically out of energy again, right? Just use our melee and stuff like that. Guns, whatever you want, whatever you use, whatever you need, basically. I'm really bad at shield gating, as I said. It's just not a playstyle that I have invested a lot of time into. So definitely something I need to get used to, but that's okay. That is okay. Turn around, and we still have an energy problem. Actually, Shade is doing a good job of getting us cloaked in the right moment here. There we go. Not even have enough energy to cast our 2 at the moment, so that's a bit of a problem. So yeah, a little bit more efficiency, definitely something that we also could use, right? R4 also instantly restores our shield gate. So let's not forget that. I need to heal my Warframe with my operator. There we go. Good stuff. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Almost died there. We managed to save ourselves. I don't know, it's just shield gating doesn't seem like that safe when you're not that comfortable with it. Also, let's use Zenoric here. Our 2 and our 4. I mean, damage-wise, we are definitely good. We have a slash proc on us. I definitely don't want to deal with that right now. And also, as I said, cast our 1 from time to time to see how that's going. We have an Acolyte in there. Not an Acolyte, an Eximus unit. Oh, the Saurus dealt with that enemy for us, which is nice. But yeah, as you can see. Press 2, press 4. Very, very nice. There we go. Also, you have 250 kills, so Molt Augmented is actually completely stacked up right now. Let's cast our 2 again, and our 4. Ow. Need to be careful here. As you can see, the Acolyte is fully armor stripped, see? That's perfect. That's what we need. Cool. So yeah, now our loop is working pretty decently. Just make sure you turn around. If you are in like a hallway, cast your 2, cast your 4, stuff is going to work. Really nice. And we need to make sure we have enough energy, so I will invest into an energy pizza here. Because Acolytes are dangerous. Cast your 2, cast your 4. Didn't manage to one-shot the Acolyte there, which is sad. So yeah, that's what I mean with like, I'm just not comfortable without Forma on this Warframe. To be taking it into the steel path, right? If you're doing this in regular star chart, like, oh boy, those poor enemies. Oh, there we go. We actually died there, and you saw how that triggered our 3. So now we are on cooldown for 25 seconds before we can reactivate it, which means we don't have the crit buff on our weapons anymore. And also we need to be extremely careful on how we approach everything here. Are nearly there. There we go, we can reactivate it now. Good. Not enough energy to cast our 1. Get some viral stacks on the Eximus. Oops, meant to press my 2, there we go. We got some energy back, which is good. I need a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, I definitely want to have like primed flow on this Warframe with a decent amount of efficiency. Because I just feel like we need it desperately. Although, as I said, like Equilibrium could be a huge help in that regard. So yeah, maybe that will be enough. But yeah, some Forma needs to be invested into this Warframe. Which is fine, like I don't expect every Warframe to be perfectly fine with running Steel Path without any Forma. Like, just to be make this really, really clear. Like, that is not my expectation at all. There we go. And as you can see, we are back on cooldown. And now, most enemies were actually fully stripped of their armor there. It did require multiple hits, but I think that is absolutely fine. Like, yeah, they will not survive this. Can reactivate our 3, there we go. And once again, just let the horses fly. It is a little bit tricky because you're like very vulnerable in that time, right? Not having any energy, actually also pretty dangerous. Can make use of rolling guard there, but actually that is not always enough. There we go. Very nice. Now, depending on the room that you are setting up in, this is actually amazingly good, so... Yeah, we have another Acolyte. Let's see if he... Oh, he survived that somehow. Okay. I need to make sure. There we go. Cast my 2 here and my 4. And yeah, as you saw there, absolutely evaporated that Acolyte. So yeah, I honestly think with efficiency on the build as well, that will be absolutely amazing. Like, for the usage of her 4, right? I mean, you can always just, like, doom enemies, slow them with your 1, and then make use of the crit damage buff that you get from your 2. Definitely works wonders as well, right? So... But it's just a really fun frame. She's very active to play, you cast a lot, right? And that is definitely something that I do like about her. And also like the potential of this Warframe with Forma is really high, and I am looking forward to it. We just died, by the way. Which is not good. Also, well, we didn't die, we went into our spectral form, right? And this will force drop health orbs. And that is one of the reasons, there we go, now we died. That is one of the reasons why I think Equilibrium could actually be extremely beneficial on her. We have a Shield Lancer somewhere in there, which has very low health. Yep, that is enough to get us through, awesome. Let's cast our 2, our 4. And actually, let's just go to extraction, to be honest. We were 10 minutes in here, so... As you saw, the first Acolyte, I didn't aim my horses correctly. And they didn't hit as often as they can. And in the second example, you really saw how the horses are like in front of you when you cast them, right? And I was able to just completely annihilate the Acolyte before the horses even really started going to places. So yeah, I don't know, as I said, I really need to get used to shield gating, which is actually honestly something I should get used to. It is about that time, I've waited long enough. So yeah, I will practice that, and I probably will invest like 2 or 3 formas into the Dagath, because I really want to have a setup that is able to go with like probably the Umbral mods, to be honest, because they are a lot of fun to use and they will make this a little bit easier as well. So yeah, that would probably mean we would have to invest an Umbral Forma. Although, not necessarily. Also, I just realized, if I really want to go with Equilibrium, I will have a problem fitting flow on this. Huh, interesting. Really interesting. Also, in case you're wondering, the most important thing about the Epitaph is that we have 2 Augur mods on here. Right, that is really important. That helps out Augur Reach. Well, the passive of the set, right? So 120% and 150% from Brief Respite. So yeah, definitely a lot of work to do, but I've had a lot of fun coming up with this thing. I failed multiple times, actually, don't get me wrong. It was really hard getting to a point where I was like, okay, now I'm at the point where I want to be. And also, thinking about it, I think a Aura Forma would probably be the best to invest into this. Now, that is controversial and probably should save that for Prime Warframe, but yeah. Oh, yeah, also we had the Natrok on us, which I didn't use, but okay. The stories, I know I skipped over the Acolyte's build, but here it is if you want to take a quick glance at that. And yeah, that is the Dagath. Like, as I said, a lot of fun and good synergies as well. So yeah, looking forward to invest more time, more research, more Forma into this Warframe. So that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And as always, take care. Bye.